The time is now 6:14 p.m. The Board of Education will now reconvene in open session. Roll call.
Mr. Hollinshead,
Here.
Mr. Lara,
Here.
Ms. Cabral,
Present.
Mrs. Cordero,
Here.
Mr. Valencia.
Present. Item A, report from closed session items. For closed session items A, B, and C, information was received. Item B, introduction of interpreters. Tonight's interpreters are Cesar Ruiz and Benito Flores. Greeting and support this evening is provided by Susana Pineda. Item C, Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight will be led by our student leaders.
Okay. Please stand. Raise your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which I stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Well done. Item D, Student Leader Advisory Team Report.
Hello, my name is Rachel Casares. I'm an 8th grade student at Festa Junior High School. Something I like about my school is it's a good environment and the teachers are caring. A leadership skill that I am working on is creative thinking. I'm trying my best to do this by developing new ideas and executing them on our campus. As I have been working with my school site to plan our kindness project, I learned that everyone has different ideas and opinions. Something that I learned from my February 9th forum is how to fight the drum major instinct. I'm applying that to learning to my school by not always wanting to be better than those around me. I am most proud of the part of the student leader advisory team and being involved in sports. These experiences have taught me teamwork skills and being able to be a leader. That is all I have to say tonight. Thank you for having me present and speak, as student leader advisory has made me better at public speaking in front of people. Good evening, board members. My name is Sophia Magana. To start off, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I know you would much rather be at home watching your favorite Netflix series, but instead you're here with me. How fortunate of you. I am a 6th grader at Taylor Elementary School, and I am proud to be attending this school because we have wonderful, caring teachers and staff that always support us. Plus, we have a spectacular musical theater program that I am lucky to be a part of. As a student leader, we are working on perfecting our current skills while learning new ones as well. During forum number 5, I learned about teamwork, public speaking, and communication. Brigetti High School students were kind enough to come and teach us about the importance of these skills. These experiences taught me the significance of being able to work well with other people. We are being educated on how to be great leaders, but we must also learn how to teach, listen, and be a team player if we want to accomplish great things. I want to thank the Santa Maria Bonita School District for giving me this amazing opportunity to be a part of the Student Leader Advisory Team. I have learned so many new skills that will become useful tools not only in my academic life, but in my personal too. I am excited for what's yet to come and look forward to all the new things this program will teach me. I am truly grateful for all that you do for us students. Thank you. Have a great rest of your evening.
Hello, board members. My name is Stephanie Jimenez Mata, and I'm a 6th grader at George Washington Battles Elementary. At my school, I am most proud of the new playground because more students are enjoying recess because they're able to play safer and trust the equipment. This is important to me because if we didn't have this new play structure, students would get injured more often. Also, by having this new play structure on campus, students were learning how to use kindness by taking turns using equipment and being patient while waiting their turn in line. As a student leader, I am working on speaking in front of people by practicing in front of family or friends. During 4 and 5 in February, I learned about the drum major instinct. The drum major instinct is the desire to be first or praised, which means that everyone will do anything to be praised. As I listened to Dr. McDuffie's presentation, I found it made me feel motivated to make an impact as a student leader. His speech also made an impact on me because I can relate to the message of how people enjoy receiving praise. Let's be honest, we all do. However, I want to take this knowledge and take on my natural drum major instinct and do more for others than ever before. For example, I now find myself asking, how can I help? With that said, I have been working with my school site to plan a kindness project. For my kindness project, I collaborated with the culture and climate team at my school and made a kindness week filled with activities and games. One activity we did was musical chairs, but instead of chairs, we added squishies to the classical game. How it works is participants had to move around in the circle when the music was on, and when the music got turned off, participants needed to try and get the squishy before their opponent. The person who did not get the squishy was out. This is just one example of the types of activities the team and I put together for the students on campus. From planning these types of activities at my school, I learned it takes more than one person to plan a project. In fact, it takes a lot of communication and commitment. This learning has inspired me to not be afraid to ask for help and remember that communication is key. I am most proud of myself for coming out of my comfort zone and communicating with others when I need help. These experiences taught me to inspire people not to be shy, take risks, and model what it means to use the drum major instinct to affect others around you. I want to thank you all for listening to me this lovely evening. I truly appreciate your time and dedication for all the students here at Santa Maria Bonita School District. The Student Leader Advisory Team has made an impact on my confidence, communication skills, time management ability, and how one can inspire the students around them. Overall, this experience has shown me how to be a leader and the skills you need to help make a difference. Thank you.
Hello board members. My name is Montserrat Sanchez and I am from Adam Elementary School. At my school, I am most proud of how kind everyone is. As a student leader, I am working on my public speaking by raising my hand more often in class. During Forum 5 in February, Dr. McMurphy talked to us about the drum major instinct. I really liked it because he was really realistic and passionate about it. As I have been working with my school side to plan our kindness project, I learned about the importance of teamwork. This learning has inspired me to allow myself to work with others and learn from them. I am most proud of how respectful and kind everyone was. The Student Leadership Advisory Team has made me feel included because each member of our group contributes and works together to figure out difficult tasks. Overall, I want to thank the Student Leadership Advisory Team for making an impact on me because I'm getting the opportunity to find and learn new skills that I can use in my future education. Thank you for your time.
Hello, board members. My name is Alexander Rodriguez Mejia. I am an 8th grader at Festa Junior High. What I am most proud of at the school is that the staff works to make sure everyone is safe. This helps us focus more in class when we feel safe. As a student leader, I am working out to participate more in class and lead by example in class so that students can also participate in class activities. In our student leader advisory team, I've been learning how to be more of a better leader on Fessler campus. For example, in our last couple of meetings, we have talked about how we need to spread kindness towards other people and make our communities more kind and less disrespectful. For our kindness project at Fessler, we hope to create a kindness tree. Students will make quotes or nice comments on leaves, and we will put them onto branches of a tree. We hope to fill the entire tree with comment leaves. Students can take a leaf off of the tree to read if they're feeling down or sad. This will help keep students happy and spread more kindness around Fessler campus. At our last meeting, Mr. Humphrey led an activity where fellow students leaders got to recommend on how the district budget is spent. Our leadership team decided that more money should be spent on field trips, better lunch food, and higher teacher pay. These experiences have taught me how to become a better leader. And I couldn't have been able to have done this without my special peers and teachers such as Mr. Voss, Mr. Hubbard, Ms. Morales, Ms. Schaefer, and Mr. G. I want to thank you for listening to my speech tonight on how the Student Leadership Advisory Team has impacted myself and other leaders. Thank you for your time.
Hello, fellow board members. My name is Alonzo Alvarez, and I'm the student leader from Miller Elementary. My presentation is about Kindness Week, which is kind of old if you really think about it, but kindness can never really get old. My principal and I decided to do a reward system for Kindness Week, which if you do something kind or a good deed for someone, then the yard duty will give you a sticker. And you take that sticker and you give it to your teacher for you to get a stamp on a type of card, a blue card. When you get 10 stamps, which is the maximum amount, you will get a reward at the principal's office. Another way to get a good deed stamp is to follow the school rules. Also, the principal and I want to show everyone's good deeds. So on the inside and outside of the school library, there will be a tree for everyone to see. This tree will have sticky notes in the shape of hearts with everyone's good deeds on them. That is our project for Kindness Week. Thank you and have a blessed day.
And just a follow-up question, does that conclude the student leader advisory team report? Yeah, excellent. All right, can we please give another round of applause to our wonderful students? Since you all are such wonderful presenters, I took notes based on what you were saying, things that I don't want to forget as I develop my leadership. And some of the things that you mentioned were asking the question, how can I help? Another way to phrase that is, how can I be of service? So thank you for that important reminder to all of us. You talked about the importance of when you're in leadership to communicate effectively, to work as a team, to take risks, right? To take, calculated risks, such a key thing, right? It's tough sometimes to speak in front of the public, but you all did a wonderful job of that. Clearly, you prepared in advance, right? And you all came up here confident, smiling, and that's exactly what good leaders do. They engage people and inspire people to want to do more and be better. And you definitely did that for me. So I want to thank you all very much. Anything else? Ms. Cordero?
I would just like to note some of the words that you used when you were talking about things that you were doing included the experience of public speaking, learning to work with others. Everyone has different ideas. It's very motivating. Being kind, how people are very kind. It's important that everyone feels safe. There's respect between students and adults and between students and students. And appreciation for the support that you receive from the adults that are on your campus. And those are the kinds of things that say to me, I am benefiting from this experience. So my hope is that you will move forward with not only what you have learned, but with the intention to do more to embody some of those attributes, because those will indeed make not only our schools a better place, but our community as well. So thank you very much.
And Dr. McDuffie, you have some homework. Oh, sorry about that, Mr.
No,
Hollins.
That's okay. I'm over here, way far away now. No, I'm without repeating the same thing about your words, you guys, what I felt like was most impressive to me was your visible support of one another, right? So you're living out and acting what you're talking about with kindness and support. And I really appreciated seeing you guys interact that way after each person made their speech and during their speeches, paying attention and really enjoying it. So, part of learning is the joy of learning of getting these things down, but also being there and supporting your peers and learning from your peers. So the actions, you guys will hear this about 1 million times, maybe the rest of your life, your actions speak louder than words, and your body language. what I saw in body language and action up there was really impressive and great to see. So I appreciate you all.
So students, before you leave, I also want to make note that you mentioned field trips and better food, among other items. So Dr. McDuffie, board members and staff, we have homework, right? We have our tasks at hand, and know that your voices do make an impact, right? So you're reminding us of what your priorities are. We often hear from a lot of adults, but I love to hear from you all. Because you are often folks that don't have the opportunity to come to these meetings, right? Most of you don't have your own vehicles yet, right? Stuff like that. So we know that that's a challenge. So very much noted, and we will continue to work on that. Thank you so much. If you all are welcome to stay for the board meeting, or if you all need to go watch those wonderful shows or get to your homework, now is a great time.
And thank you to the parents who came to support their
Yeah,
children.
big round of applause for our families. All right, thank you so much. We are now at item 8, public comment period, open session. The public comments are intended for members of the public to address the Board of Education on items involving the school district. Such testimony shall be limited to 3 minutes each, or 450 words per person and subject, and 15 minutes total for each topic. If an answer to a specific question is requested, the board president will, if appropriate, direct administration to respond in writing. Just as a reminder to all speakers and presenters, please be mindful when speaking at the podium not to speak too quickly so that our interpreters are able to increase accuracy and keep pace for our Spanish and Mixtec speaking audience. Do we have any public comments this evening, Dr. McDuffie?
Yes, we do. And what I'll do is I'll call maybe 3 or 4 folks up so we can have you line up to public speak. And I'll first call on Wendy Mann, Miriam Villagran. Did I say it correctly? Ana Zacharias and Ruth Castro.
We do have a packet for you guys if we're able to give that to you at the end of our speeches. Good evening, district board members. My name is Wendy Marin, and I currently serve as a TK teacher at Fairlawn Elementary. It has been an incredible, fulfilling year thus far, as I have had the opportunity to realize my dream of becoming a teacher. As a bilingual educator and a Mexican American, I am fortunate to have the ability to connect with my students and their culture on a very personal level. Along with my colleague, Ana Zacarias, I have cultivated a positive, engaging, and loving classroom environment where our students feel safe, loved, and understood. I'm addressing the board today in my capacity as a Probe Zero teacher with over 17 years of dedicated service to this district. I have served in various roles within our district, including volunteering countless hours as a PTC president, a school site council member, and a CSEA Panda. With this history of commitment and dedication, I humbly request an extension to our waiver for an additional year and the opportunity to interview along with our outside applicants. My colleagues and I, who collectively possess over 75 years of service to this district, have demonstrated our qualifications as educators. Our classroom, in particular, has been recognized as exemplary, hosting visits from First 5 Santa Barbara County, UMass, and Hancock students for observation and practicum. As outlined in the Declaration of Needs submitted by Mr. Pete Bland, there remains an insufficient number of credentialed teachers to meet the demands of our district. The predicted ongoing need for TK teachers in the upcoming school year necessitates the extension of our current waivers. The CTC waiver under which we currently operate stipulates that the district must conduct a diligent search for credentialed teachers, a requirement that has been met already through job postings, flyers, job fairs, and advertisement throughout the year. Additionally, the declaration of need guarantees mentoring and support, which has only recently been fulfilled and implemented with the hiring of mentor teachers in January of 2024. This year, I persevered through the toughest of circumstances, proving to myself and those around me that I embody the spirit of never giving up. Despite facing the numerous challenges of a new classroom teacher, I learned and mastered the TK curriculum and supplemental resources such as Benchmark, Heggerty, Handwriting Without Tears, and the California Teaching Pyramid. Additionally, I am a part of a letters training at my site, which has provided me with exceptional learning experience despite the additional work. I engage in all of this work to ensure that my students have the best learning experience, all while continuing to study for my exams, finishing my master's degree, and ensuring that my family is still a priority. In conclusion, it is crucial to recognize that these state exams don't define my true potential or who I am as an individual. As my mother taught me, tú puedes. Échale ganas. All I'm asking for is an opportunity to finish what I have started. Just one more year is all I need to demonstrate my abilities and reach my goals. As you deliberate today, I urge you to consider our district mission statement and parameters, which states, we believe equity is essential for all persons to thrive. We will make decisions based on what is best for our students. We will not compromise our commitment to excellence. Your consideration of our request for an extension and to interview with our outside candidates is deeply appreciated. Thank you.
Respected administrators and stakeholders, my name is Miriam Villagran. I have served and dedicated my professional life to my community. In 2007, I volunteered for a year as a preschool teacher in a rural community in Jalisco, Mexico. In 2008, I came to the United States to pursue my education and obtain better opportunities. I started to work for the Santa Maria Bonita School District in 2017. I started as a bilingual, bicultural assistant, and then as a preschool teacher for different schools, including migrant and extended day programs. I currently work as a transitional kindergarten teacher at Miller Elementary. Teaching TK is more than a job. It's my passion and part of my life. Early childhood educators like myself have played an essential role in young children's lives. We have supported students during a critical time of social-emotional development, which ultimately helps them thrive academically. Unfortunately, learning about preschools being dissolved last year was very challenging. Even though I was given the opportunity to co-teach kindergarten at Arellanes Elementary, I simultaneously embarked on a new role as a student at UMass Global University, hoping to continue my employment with Santa Maria Bonita School District. I've been determined to pass all the required exams, and I am currently in the process of completing my CAL TPAs, which should be completed by June of the current year. I believe fulfilling these requirements will allow me to stay employed with the Santa Maria Bonita School District. I have a strong commitment to the students, their families, and the Santa Maria community. We beg you to please extend the TK emergency credential one more year and post the TK positions as soon as possible. This will allow the CTC waiver requirements to be met and will also give us sufficient time to finish the credential program so we can apply and be considered for a position before the end of the school year. The students within the Santa Maria community deserve teachers like us, teachers who possess bilingual fluency and deep understanding of their cultural context. I assure you that you will never regret giving us the opportunity of doing what we're doing for years, proudly and effectively serving the students and families of the Santa Maria community. Muchas gracias.
Buenas tardes, good evening, school board members. My name is Ana Zacarias, and I currently serve as a TK teacher at Fairlawn Elementary. It has been a wonderful and rewarding year as I've had the opportunity to be challenged to the best of my abilities. Together with my co-teacher, Wendy Marin, we've created a successful TK classroom. Our classroom has served as an exemplary for various programs such as First Five Santa Barbara County, Allen Hancock College, and UMass Global students. I am here today to share my learning experiences and concerns. I am fortunate to be a bilingual teacher, which allows me to relate to our SMBSD students. I came from Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico when I was only 5 years old. My education began here and continued here in the Santa Maria Bonita School District. I attended Adam Elementary, Robert Bruce, and El Camino Junior High. I am a proud product of the Santa Maria Bonita School District, and like many students, my parents work in the agricultural field, which allows me to relate to the students and their families on a more personal level. At a very young age, I fell in love with teaching and became a mini corps tutor for this district. I obtained my AA in social sciences at Allen Hancock College and transferred to Cal Poly and earned my degree in child development and psychology. In 2017, I assumed the role of a twilight preschool teacher at Sanchez Elementary School. I was a preschool teacher for about 7 years. However, last year circumstances changed and the decision to terminate preschool programs in favor of promoting UTK occurred. Prompting by this change, I decided to be proactive and pursue my credentials and master's degree to be able to continue my professional growth. I have faced multiple and numerous challenges, hardships, and experiences to get where I am today, while still keeping my family as a priority. I have navigated the challenges of being in a new grade level, new school site, and learning new curriculum and instructional materials, in addition to being in a letter school site. I persevered through rigorous examinations, including the CSETs and RICA assessments, and have overcome linguistic barriers as an English language learner. I am currently working on my Cal TPAs, which should be completed by the end of June. Along with my colleagues, we share similar hardships and experiences. We stand before you as teachers and passionate educators dedicated to the success and well-being of our students. We urge you to recognize the value we bring to our schools and our community. We are asking for the opportunity to finish what we started. Just one more year is all we need to demonstrate our abilities and reach our goals. We understand that we need to get terminated, but we ask for you to accelerate the application process and seeking credentialed teachers. This will allow the CTC waiver requirements to be met, so we have time to be able to apply and have a position by the end of the school year. Together, we can ensure that every child receives the quality education they deserve by highly qualified teachers like us. Muchas gracias por su tiempo. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Ruth Castro. I'm currently working at Adams School in transitional kinder. I came here from Guadalajara, Mexico, when I was in high school. After high school, I attended Allen Hancock College and obtained my AA in early childhood development with an emphasis in bilingual bicultural. In 1996, I started to work for Santa Maria Bonita School District. I started as a bilingual instructional assistant and worked at Ontiveros School for 10 years. Ms. Cordero was the principal at the time. I continued my education and I obtained my early childhood development teaching permit as a master teacher. After a few more years of hard work, I earned my BA in liberal arts with an emphasis in child, family, and society from ENIAC University, Santa Barbara. I previously worked at Battle School for 16 years as a preschool teacher. In total, I've been with the district 27 years. Like some of my colleagues here, I'm putting in a lot of work and attending evening classes at UMass University. By the end of April, I will have completed my Cal TPAs to then obtain my multiple subject teaching credential. Simultaneously, I'm working hard to pass my RICA test. Although I have learned so much this year, it hasn't been easy. This year has had its challenges. Moving to a new school, learning a new curriculum, working full-time during the day, and doing homework at night has been difficult. Yet, I have persevered. I'm still here, teaching our students and doing what I love. I would like to stay in this district so that I can continue to service our students and their families with my early childhood background expertise. I am a highly qualified teacher with many years of experience. I have countless hours of training in early childhood education. Teachers in TK, students in TK deserve teachers with experience who can promote high expectations, academic motivation, high quality teaching, empathy, tenderness, and fun experiences in the classroom. This is what I've been doing for 16 years. I am asking that you please post the TK position on EdJoin to outside applicants as soon as possible with 30 to 45 days to apply. This will allow the district with enough time to hire credentialed teachers and give us the opportunity to interview alongside the applicants. You are looking to hire qualified teacher, and along with my colleagues, this is exactly what we are. Thank you for your time.
So we have Kathy Cooley, Kimberly Johnson, Candace DeGear.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Cooley, and I'm a fifth grade teacher at Oakley Elementary. I've been in the district for 24 years and at Oakley for 20. 15 of those have been in the fifth grade. I've served on several curriculum adoptions as a pilotee, been on leadership teams, led SSTs, been a committee team leader for many community events, coached volleyball, and recently won. As well as currently serving as the fifth grade representative on Oakley's instructional leadership team and a TIP mentor. I care deeply about our students and Oakley families. I'm here tonight to voice my concerns on class size, specifically in the fifth grade. Last year, Oakley went from 4 fourth grades to 3 fifth grades, and it looks as though the same exact thing is going to happen again this year. If we go with what we have now, which is 102 fourth grade students, 3 teachers would start the year with 34 students each, rather than a manageable 26 if we were given 4 teachers. It seems as though the district is planning for max capacity in a classroom rather than what is best for students. We have an empty classroom at Oakley, so space is not an issue like it is at many other sites. I currently have the biggest class at Oakley with 33 students. It has been a challenging year to meet the needs of all 33 students, many of whom have diverse needs. For example, 26 of my 33 students are scoring below grade level on the NWEA. Additionally, student behaviors and the lack of social emotional learning because of COVID makes teaching 33 students that much more difficult. Add in the needs of inclusion students, and a teacher's time is cut even shorter. I am unable to give each student what they need due to too many students. I am feeling ineffective. As a member of the instructional leadership team, I have learned information about where we are as a site and how we need to improve our scores. If this is to happen, how is increasing class sizes going to help? Another thing I hope the district takes into consideration is that Oakley is a literacy lab site. We are taking part in letters training and implementing what we are learning to help our struggling readers. Large class sizes would make it even harder to help students who are already reading below grade level make the kind of gains that we want to see. Having smaller class sizes would benefit all, especially our students. SMBSD's mission statement reads, "The district is committed to a high-quality education for each student to develop students who are prepared for limitless possibilities and achievements using their unique gifts and talents to develop skills to reach their maximum potential. If you are cutting the number of classes in which makes class sizes bigger, how are we to follow through with the district's mission statement? As teachers, we become less effective when class sizes are so big. Our students deserve our best, not overcrowded classrooms. I hope that the school board will be more proactive rather than reactive by investing in smaller class sizes so that teachers can be more effective in implementing the promises of the Santa Maria Bonita School District's mission statement. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. McDuffie, board members, and district leadership team. Thank you for taking the time to hear our perspectives of all the stakeholders as we work together to make the best environment for our students to succeed, our staff to grow, and our community to thrive. My name is Kimberly Johnson, and I'm the instructional coach at Tommy Coons Junior High, an English teacher and one of our site's web coordinators. I'm also the parent of 2 students who have come through our district and my site. I'm here to speak to you tonight about the need to value and retain the hardworking teachers and professionals who have chosen to work in our community and with our students to become part of the SMBSD family. I'm here tonight to speak on their behalf. One of our district's parameters is that we will make decisions based on what is best for students. At the start of this school year in our district professional development, we heard the district's plan to recruit, support, and retain high-quality people. Part of our mission is to have a highly effective staff. We have a number of staff who were pink slipped last week in positions we know we will likely need to rehire for as we scramble to fill the inevitable vacancies for next year. We want to keep the teachers we hired this year on our staff and in our community. What happened last week when teachers who were hired probe zero or temporary were pink slipped is that we opened the door for those teachers to leave. In fact, we invited them to leave. Some have said we kicked them out the door. 65 dedicated educators who have committed to our students and to our community. We pulled the welcome rug out from under them and did the opposite of what a family would do in uncertain times. It does not help morale on our campuses. These teachers were told to wait for district postings. That is stressful, it's uncertain, and it's unkind. One of the teachers pink slipped at our site is a dedicated math teacher who is committed to and is enthusiastic about sharing the responsibility of being a web coordinator with me next year. Another dedicated math teacher pink slipped last week is prepped to be our site avid teacher for next year. We don't want to lose them to another site or to another district. They have built relationships with our students and our staff, and they are part of our family. Those are just 2 examples of valuable members of our teaching staff we are in danger of losing at a time when there is a nationwide shortage in teachers, substitute teachers, bus drivers, and dedicated staff in general who want to work in our field because it is not an easy field. So please offer these teachers back their positions and retain them so that we can continue to do our most important work for our students on the front lines of this profession. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mr. McDuffie. Hi, board members. My name is Candace Daguerre, and I want to thank these beautiful women over here who band together, these colleagues of mine that I just met, and what wonderful support you have for each other. I unfortunately stand alone. I'm an OC teacher at Arianas Junior High, and this probably won't be as fantastic and as beautiful as their speech, but I'm hoping just to make my point. I came to this district a couple years ago, and I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to work for Santa Maria Bonita. I love driving along the coastline and seeing the ocean when I come here. I, at my campus, have been supported by the teachers. They're wonderful people. They have stepped up and helped me when I've had questions. When I landed at Arianas, I found my niche. In the 2 short years I have been there, the students have left their mark and imprint on me. The first year at Arianas, I was asked to teach math. I stepped up because I'm a team player, and then they finally hired a math teacher, so I moved on to the opportunity class. I am working with Tier 2 and Tier 3 students. These students face many obstacles. When the students come into the opportunity class, they know I care, and they also know that I have expectations for them. I teach SEL lessons using zone cards so they can learn different ways to self-regulate their behavior, moods, and learn proper techniques. I teach from the curriculum called Zones of Regulation, which was given to me last year. And I have slides I use to coincide with the lessons from the book. I support students with classroom assignments, keeping backpacks organized, collaborate with their teachers so they do not fall behind with their core subjects, and support other activities. But most important, I am a role model in the way to interact respectively on campus. I see so much more room for growth. I have created interactive presentations titled Determination, Empathy, Integrity, Positive Attitude. These lessons and respect, these lessons last about 30 minutes. They're on a slide, which I put through Paradeck, I'm nervous, which allows the students to work individually at their own pace. I listen to the students because they have great ideas. What is missing on campus is blending more groups of students together and allowing them to break the barrier of cliques. I have ideas and visions that I know work, but I need more time and support from administration. Opportunity teachers have very different roles, and it can be ambiguous because it is not defined the same way on each campus. I am a veteran teacher of 17 years, and this is the greatest challenge in my career I have met. When I
Ma'am,
am
you're
given
at-
new
please
directives,
wrap up
I
your-
follow
your
them
comment.
and ask, how can I improve? Mistakes have been made by me and my administration. I choose to live in the land of solutions. I am asking the board to remove my non-reelect status. More importantly, I'm asking the board to allow me the opportunity to grow in this district. I have given you
Madam,
reasons
ma'am,
why.
you're at time. My apologies. You're at time. I apologize for that.
Sorry?
Oh, your time is out. I'm sorry. There are 3 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
But please feel free to send us your comments. Thank you so much.
So we have Carla Ochoa, Abe Espino, and Ana Orozco.
Do we just get started? Okay, hi, my name is Carla Ochoa. I'm one of the school psychologists for the district. I've had the pleasure to work for Santa Maria Bonita School District for the last 8 years. I've been able to work at Barros Elementary along with other elementary schools, and I absolutely love working here. I and two of my colleagues, Abe and Anna, are here to share some information regarding the profession. The hope is to increase awareness and share how we support in the school setting. We are somewhat of a hidden resource, and I hope that we get some exposure so that our families and school personnel are able to maximize student support. Our profession requires a minimum of a master's degree, pupils' personnel credential, and 1,200 hours of hands-on experience to be completed within a year-long internship. In our district, we have a total of 20 school psychologists with varying experience, some that are just getting started, many of us that are within the 3 to 9-year range, and some that have 15+ years of experience. Many of our school psychologists also are board certified behavior analysts. Some of them have teaching experience, and many are they're certified by National Association of School Psychologists. And so we're here because we're passionate and we love supporting our students. And so I'm just gonna share a little bit about my why. Why did it come into the field? So I grew up in a very similar city as Santa Maria. My parents immigrated to California 40+ years ago. They also work in the fields over in San Jose and Gilroy area. They worked very hard and really instilled and encouraged us to do really well in school so we could have a better life. I am proud to say that I am a first-generation college student, graduate, and that I am fluent bilingual speaker in English and Spanish. I've experienced and understand some of the cultural, social, economic, and familial challenges our students face on a daily basis. The driving force behind me becoming a school psychologist
stems from wanting to bridge the gap between school and family systems. I see our students from a whole child perspective and want to ensure that we do our best for each and every one of our students. I have the privilege to work with our students and their families on a very personal basis. I love working with students who have diverse family dynamics. I enjoy supporting our students with varying learning needs, support and promote social skills and emotional well-being. My hope is to ensure that our students receive early intervention so they have what they need to be successful students and productive, well-adjusted members of society. Next, and with that, I leave you, and next will be Abe Espino. He has been a school psychologist for 13 years and will be sharing more about school psychology. Thank you for your time.
Hi all. School psychologists are dedicated to further their education and professional development to improve the positive impact it provides to students, parents, staff, and colleagues. We are strongly grounded in the scientific practitioner model, which guides evidence-based decision-making. School psychologists are trained and strive to demonstrate impeccable communication skills, work ethic, analytical skills, and the desire to improve the lives of youth across our communities. I am a first-generation American. My mother was born in Mexico and my father in Panama. Spanish was my first spoken language. My mother was a field worker in Salinas prior to my birth. My father was a preacher at a Latino-based church throughout my childhood in Eastside San Jose. I have a strong understanding of our Latino culture. I am proud of the services we provide the Santa Maria Bonita population. Together, we nurture an educational experience for all our students, for all our children. School psychologists provide direct support and interventions to students, consult with teachers, families, and mental health professionals to improve school-wide practices and policies. We evaluate, assessing cognitive, academic, behavioral, social-emotional skills in students to understand diverse learning needs. We provide intervention through counseling and helping students, families, and the school community with crises. We implement measures by developing programs to foster academic and social growth in students. Finally, we provide systems-level change by evaluating the effectiveness of academic and behavioral interventions. School psychologists work with many tough cases involving advocates, lawyers, and parents who may need more guidance. We have the ability to empathize with them and through consultation, let them see that it is not about the school versus them. It's about us helping our students together. With fluid communication, we're able to diffuse would-be litigious situations and tactfully build support for our students as a team. School psychologists take pride in their work. Consultation, collaboration, report writing, and ultimately positive outcomes to better our communities. Thank you very much.
Hi, board. So my name is Anna Orozco, and I'm a first-year school psychologist in this district. I grew up here, and I went to Tunnel, Ontiveros, and Tommy Kuntz Junior High School. You can even say Mrs. Cordero and I go way back because she used to be my principal at Ontiveros. To continue with Mr. Espino's statement, according it shows us for both how much we've grown and learned. To continue with Mr. Espino's statement, according to the National Association of School Psychologists, it is recommended that there be one school psychologist per 500 student ratio. We currently have about 16,500 students in our district, putting us at one school psychologist for every 850 student ratio. This impacts our effectiveness and how involved we're able to be of support for these students. This school year, we're supporting over 125 students for counseling services, evaluating about 200 open assessments that will lead to a development of IEPs and/or a provision of services to students, and supporting about 280 students going through the multi-tiered system of supports process to give targeted interventions such as consultation with counselors, whole class instruction, behavioral plans, and social skills development. We continue to support students by improving academic achievement, promoting positive behaviors, advocating for mental health, supporting diverse learners, and creating safe and positive school climates. So, why do school psychologists do this every day? Well, 180 of those days. School psychologists are positive, energetic, empathetic, and caring individuals. We build rapport with staff, parents, and students with relative ease, kind of saying that, as it is in our nature to do so. We feel comfortable in this school environment and promote positive and warm school climates to ultimately better our communities. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening to us.
That's all we have. No more coming.
Prior to continuing with the approval of the agenda as presented, I would like to take a short 5-minute recess. Convene, we are back in session. Item 9, approval of agenda as presented. May I have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
It is moved by Ms. Cordero and seconded by Mr. Hollenshead to accept the agenda as presented. Roll call.
Mr. Hollenshead,
Aye.
Mr. Lara,
Aye.
Ms. Cabral, Mrs. Cordero,
Aye.
Mr. Valencia.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 10, consent items. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are consistent with the adopted policies and approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. They will be acted upon by roll call vote in one motion without discussion unless a member of the board requests an item be pulled from the consent agenda for further discussion. Items pulled from the consent agenda will be voted on separately. May I have a motion to approve the consent items as presented?
So moved.
Second?
It is moved by Ms. Cordero and seconded by Mr. Hollenshead to approve the consent item as presented. Roll call.
Mr. Hollenshead,
Aye.
Mr. Lara,
Aye.
Ms. Cabral,
Aye.
Mrs. Cordero,
Aye.
Mr. Valencia.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 11, action items. Item A, resolution number 23-16, release and non-reelection of probationary certificated employees. Dr. Bland.
Thank you, President Valencia, Board, Dr. McDuffie. The board is requested to adopt Resolution 23-16, authorizing the governing board to release and non-reelect probationary certificated employees, Education Code Section 44929.21B. Non-reelection is a process that puts certificated probationary employees on notice that the employee's reemployment contract will not be renewed for the following school year. Education Code 44929.21B authorizes the governing board to give notice to probationary certificate employees of the board's decision to non-reelect the employees for the next succeeding school year at any time prior to March 15th of the employee's second complete consecutive school year of employment by the district as a probationary certificate employee. The Board of Education is asked to adopt the attached resolution to non-reelect the probationary certificate employees as itemized in Exhibit A, and the superintendent or his designee to be directed to send appropriate notices by no later than March 15th, 2024 to all employees whose services shall be terminated at the end of the school year by virtue of this action.
Board members, are there any questions or comments? Mr. Hollenshead.
And just in brief, in listening to what some of the concerns were earlier, it does seem that there's a couple of things. One is the communication of the processes under which we are obliged to go through with this and the timing of it. We've discussed that, but also one of the things that I'm reflecting back on is hearing people talking about pinks and being pink slipped. And, that was a practice that some of the teachers and the prospective teachers maybe not be familiar with. And so it really can sound very immediate and terminal. And I, at least from my perspective, having gone back to when times were thinner and we were talking about having to let people go for budgetary reasons and some of those things, it doesn't have that same impact on me. So I can empathize with how they're feeling without a perspective other than what they're hearing today. And so I think, we need to, we are, I think, from talking to Dr. Bland, really trying to communicate what that means, what the processes are, and how people can continue to be part of our district, because we don't want to lose some of the amazing young people that have dedicated themselves, and maybe some not so young, to us. And so I just wanted to reflect on that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hollenshead. Are there any further questions or comments from the board? A clarifying question that I have Dr. Bland, is for employees that are on this list, do they have the ability to reapply for a position in our district, or are they not allowed to do so?
Yes, they do.
And so, for example, some of the teachers that spoke to us today, they would be in a position to reapply for a position.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you very much. Seeing no further questions or comments from the board, may I have a motion?
I'll move to adopt the attached resolution 2316 authorizing the non-reelection of probationary certificated employees.
And I'll second.
It is moved by Mr. Hollinshead and seconded by Ms. Cordero that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution number 23-16, authorizing the non-reelection of probationary certificated employees as presented. Roll call.
Mr. Hollinshead,
Abstain?
Mr. Lara,
Aye.
Ms. Cabral,
Aye.
Mrs. Cordero,
Aye.
Mr. Valencia.
Aye. Motion passes. Item B, resolution number 23-17, release of temporary certificated employees. Dr. Bland.
Thank you. The board is requested to adopt resolution 2317, authorizing the governing board to release temporary certificated employees at the end of the 23-24 school year, Education Code 44954B. The Education Code requires that the Board of Trustees notify temporary certificated employees before the end of the school year that they will be released from employment at the end of the 23-24 school year. The Board of Education is asked to adopt the attached resolution to release the temporary certificated employees as itemized in Exhibit A at the end of the 23-24 school year, and that the superintendent or his designee be directed to send appropriate notices to all employees whose services shall be terminated by virtue of this action by no later than March 15th of 2024.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? Dr. Bland, does the same thing apply to these employees? Are they in a position where they're able to apply for a position in our district, or are they no longer eligible for that?
They're eligible to reapply, and and yes, to answer your question, yes.
Thank you very much. Seeing no further question, or Ms. Cordero, do you have a question or comment?
No.
Seeing no further questions, may I have a motion?
I'll move to adopt resolution 23-16, release and non-reelection of probationary certificated employees.
Is there a second?
Point of clarification, it's for temporary certificated employees, not probationary.
Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Hollinshead. Yes, we are B, resolution number 23-17, release of temporary certificated employees.
Apologize, I was looking at the wrong page.
No problem. Would
So I'll restate the resolution correctly. I'll move to adopt resolution number 23-17, release of temporary certificated employees.
it is moved.
And I'll second.
It is moved by Ms. Cordero and seconded by Ms. Cabral that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution number 23-17, authorizing the release of temporary certificated employees as presented. Roll call.
Mr. Hollinshead,
Aye.
Mr. Lara,
Aye.
Ms. Cabral,
Aye.
Mrs. Cordero,
Aye.
Mr. Valencia.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 12, discussion items. Item A, strategic plan update. Dr. McDuffie.
Every time we have our student leaders speak, they inspire me. This is not easy to speak in front of people, this public speaking, we call it. But I am here to, first of all, wish you all a good evening. Good evening, President Valencia and distinguished board members. I am Darren McDuffie, proud principal, sorry. Give myself a demotion real quick. A proud superintendent of the Santa Maria Bonita School District. And I'm here tonight. I want to present to you the work that has been done over the past year. Since March of 2023, we began this journey with the creation of our strategic plan with our beliefs, mission, objectives, parameters, and strategies. It's tonight where we present to you our strategic plan actions. We have 11 action plans that will speak to our 4 key strategies of our strategic plan. So with that, let's take a look first at reviewing our strategic plan, and then we'll get to what our actions are for our strategies. First, I want to thank my internal facilitators, Ms. Jennifer Loftus, Dr. Samuel Humphrey, Dr. Tammy Castillo-Schiffer, and Eric Thompson. Can you please stand up? These individuals, they really did all the work, like the coordinating and making sure that people were really engaged in the process. And so they did such a tremendous job, and I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work that you've done as we started this process. And so with that, I just wanted to show you all the work of our strategic planning team. And so we have a list of folks that I just wanted to display as you read along. We've had a couple of our board members, a part of our strategic planning team, Lieutenant Helio, did I say that correctly? Laura, from the Santa Maria Police Department, and just on down the list of community members, parents, also our Migrant Parent Advisory, Mystical Parent Advisory representatives as well. So, strategic plan. This is the framework of our strategic plan from our beliefs all the way down tonight, where we'll be talking about our action plans. So I want to talk about our beliefs to begin with. We have 11 beliefs that really is the foundation of everything that we do. And I'm only going to read a few of them as you read along, but we believe each person has inherent value and respect and deserves respect. We believe all people belong, have a voice, and can contribute. We believe every person has the power and responsibility to take action and make a positive impact. We believe service is an act of love. We believe that there is strength and power in cultural diversity. And we believe that a unified community inspires hope and faith. This is not platitudes that I created, but as a team, we talked about and discussed just those things, the beliefs that are foundational to everything that we want to do here in Santa Maria Bonita School District. And so parameters are guide rails. Is that a word, guide rails? Did I say it right? It sounds so awkward, but
Shakespeare made up his own words. You can make them up too. Dr.
okay, yes,
McDuffie.
guide rails of this plan. Parameters tell us how we should guide our conversations and our interactions together. And that is making the best decision based on what is best for, making decisions based on what is best for students. Welcoming all people with dignity and respect, even though you may disagree. We practice responsible stewardship of all our resources, embracing practicing and modeling integrity, as well as not compromising our commitment to excellence. So those are the parameters that we want to aspire to have in our strategic plan, or that we do have in our strategic plan. And now, our mission statement. The mission statement is the North Star, the true north of everything we aspire for our students. And so everything should be geared for our plan. You can see that there are no academic nor specific things that are in this plan, but it leaves it to the possibilities that are endless. So I'll read it really quickly. The mission of the Santa Maria Bonita School District as the unifying force that cultivates and enriches our diverse community is to ensure every student flourishes by discovering their passion and purpose, exercising self-determination, and developing the skills to reach their maximum potential through a student-centered culture distinguished by a whole child approach, an inclusive environment, community and family engagement, transformational innovation, and highly effective staff. That's our mission statement. And so the team then, we created our objectives. Okay, what happened? Did I do that? Yes. And so our objectives is what we want our students to do. What do we want our students to do? 3 things. Discover who they are, their passion and purpose through meaningful educational opportunities. I love the second one. Be empowered with self-determination to have ownership and joy in their learning. And then be prepared for limitless possibilities and achievements using their unique gifts and talents to develop skills to reach their maximum potential. And then we get to our strategies. The strategies are what we will do as a district. And we will, number one, engage families and community to fulfill our mission. We will recruit, support, retain high-quality people. We will provide structures and facilities to support inclusive learning experiences, and we will nurture the whole child. So we're on the last element, the last feature of our strategic plan tonight, and those are our action plans. And right now, just really quickly, we had action team facilitators, and I'd like them to stand really quickly just to be acknowledged. Tina Duran, Maria Garcia, Andrea Alvarez, Patricia Zepeda, Heather Allen, Linda Leonard, Dawn Elliott, and Gina Danley. Thank you. Thank you for your work. I really and truly appreciate it. These facilitators, their task is to keep their teams together and focused on the strategy. And I appreciate the work that they provided, the work that they did. And I want to have one of our action team members come up and talk about their experience with the work of the strategic plan. So Maria Garcia, are you available? Maria Garcia, go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Valencia, board members, and Superintendent McDuffie. My name is Maria Garcia. I am a Spanish teacher at Tommy Coons Junior High. I'd like to publicly thank my co-lead, Tina Duran, who did everything with me, and all of my other leads who worked just as hard. I'm here to you to present some of our meeting objectives for our team action plans. Each meeting that we had a very specific purpose, and we were very intentional in trying to meet our goals. Every meeting began with the reminder of our district mission, our strategic plan overview, our parameters, our strategy, and our norms. We intentionally reviewed these at the beginning of each meeting to center the thinking of our members around our goal for that evening. So our first meeting was our strategy analysis, and our journey started with an icebreaker, which was conducted to promote team building, teamwork, strategizing, and encouraging the recognition of diversity in our student population. We also did an overview of the overall strategic process and vision for our meetings. We analyzed the district's mission and our strategy and discussed how it coincides with our SMBSD mission. Our meeting number 2 and going into meeting number 3 and 4 was information gathering and then moving to action. And after taking time to analyze our specific strategy, we worked on gathering information as teams. Team members individually and in groups brainstormed ideas and then shared out to the whole team. Brainstormed ideas were then condensed into principal ideas, where detailed discussions ensued, and voting took place in order to reach agreement for our action plans. From there, we went to meeting number 5, which was our action plan, and we started writing. Once teams came to a final consensus, they worked on creating sub-steps to support the specific action plans. Our meeting number 6 was cost-benefit analysis, and from there, we went to our final meeting and wrap-up. So the team produced a list of costs and benefits by reviewing our action item steps and sub-steps in each category. Discussions took place to determine the tangible and intangible costs that everyone agreed on. And then once that was completed, we reviewed the entire action plan and voted in order to have the final consensus to bring forward to the strategic team. And that was our process. It took 8 planning meetings, 8 weeks of meeting together in the evenings. We are very grateful for the collaboration and dedication of our team members. We had a diverse group in each of our groups of community members, parents, staff members, and administrators. And teams were very reflective of our students, of our family and community as we work together to ensure that our action plans align to our Santa Maria Bonita School District mission. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria, for sharing that. I really appreciate it. It would have been a lot easier for me to talk to cabinet or talk to some of my administrators to say, hey, here are our strategies. Let's go ahead and put some actions down. This took time. This whole process is a year because we had people involved. And it wasn't anything that could be done just overnight. And I appreciate the work really that everyone put into it to hold these meetings, to be able to get people together to reflect and to really talk about what was best or what they felt was best for the students of Santa Maria Bonita School District. So thank you once again. So we go to our actions. These are, it's not going to be like, well, maybe it will be like, ooh, ah. But this is the work of the folks that you see here for Action Team 1. So these are some of the participants who were part of the action teams, and the action teams were mixed with different folks to run the lead or to be lead facilitators. And we were very strategic as well in making sure those teams ran well with the people who were there. Our action team, number 1 is we will engage families and community to fulfill our mission. That's our strategy. And so there's only one action plan that comes with this. It is plan and open a centralized family and community space to provide a welcoming, culturally responsive location where children, parents, schools, and community members are supported. That's it. And this is, I think, key to all the work that we're doing here at Santa Maria Bonita with our parents and our families. It's important for us to be able to create a place that is centrally located where it could be the hub of families getting to know Santa Maria who are new, registering, educational classes and events can take place there. Access to various resources can happen out of this centralized location. So those are one of the action plans that we will be working on. from action team number one? No oohs or ahs. I told you. Action team two. This is some of the members of action team two. And strategy two, we will recruit, support, and retain high quality people. Just a recent recruitment fair, picture from a recent recruitment fair with all the fine marketing, branding for Santa Maria Bonita School District. And here are the three actions that we have. Action Plan 1, strengthen our brand in the educational community, highlighting the district's beliefs and mission. Ensure SMBSD is recruiting on multiple platforms and using multiple medias to advertise vacancies. Action Plan 2, foster a culture of learning for all employees. You know, this action plan calls for ensuring that all employees, both certificated and classified, are provided with professional development and mentors. While we might already do this for new educators, the team felt strongly that all employees should benefit from this support system. And then finally, action plan 3, investing in our staff throughout their career. And doing this requires us to look at our pipeline program and consider how we are supporting our staffs in growing the skills needed to apply for things like promotion. So that's strategy 2, and those are our action plans for recruit and retain high quality people. Action Team 3, so the names of the participants in Action Team 3. And our strategy 3, we will provide structures and facilities to support inclusive learning experiences. Now, Action Team, this may surprise you a little bit, but these plans really integrate with each other. And so the first action plan was to provide learning opportunities to every parent, guardian through effective parent education nights, resulting in an increase in parent guardian involvement at our school sites. Action plan 2, reducing class sizes to enhance learning, and the inclusivity of all students. And 3, UDL. UDL is Universal Design for Learning framework used at all sites in order to develop and maintain inclusivity of all students. You wouldn't see there our facilities master plan. You don't see there that we're looking to increase our space through our bond measure, but those are things I'll talk about as far as what our strategic intent is and things that we do needing to be moved to and towards a strategic intent. But those are the action plans of Action Team 3. And we have Action Team 4. Those are the team members of Action Team 4. We will nurture the whole child. Fourth strategy identified by our action team. And while keeping academics in the forefront is a part of meeting the needs of the whole child, we cannot get there if there are other needs that are not met. And to this team came up with the 4 actions: incorporating trauma-informed practices and restorative communities in all classrooms, providing students with freshly prepared, healthy choices, creating community schools within and throughout SMBSD and increasing literacy skills for all students while also promoting literacy in the student's primary language. And so really these ideas of this strategic plan is outlined with these action steps. And many of these things we are already in the process of doing or looking to expand. And this really is a way for us to be very laser-like in our focus of these different strategies. And so the next steps, and then I'll go to what I call the strategic intent. But our next steps, how do we monitor? Next steps will, myself and the internal facilitators will create a 5-year phasing document and assign leads to cultivate and activate these action plans. Some of them can be overnight, and some of them are going to take a while. Some of them may need us to somehow obtain a facility that we don't yet have. And so we'll be working on that and working through a phasing document. We will have mid-year updates provided to the Board of Education, as well as an annual celebration will take place to highlight the accomplishments of our strategies. And so those are the ways that we will keep our eye on these actions and on our strategic plan. And I wanted to talk a little bit about strategic intent. These are action plans. It was a lot of work that was put into these plans, but there's also conditions that we have that change. And I don't want this to be a document where if, for example, we're looking for a building to create our family center and we don't have a building, does that mean that we just stop? No, that means we adjust. And so we want to, I want to show that through this graph, just really looking at results over time and how when we go through our process, our system and operations where things kind of stay unchanged, how do we aspire to get where we're going? We have our intent. We intend to do something, right? So inertia is where things kind of stop and things remain unchanged. And we have an intent. This is where we want our students to be. And so that there is the gap that we want to fill with our strategies that we provided. And we feel those are the focus of Santa Maria Bonita School District. It's not everything that we do, but it is the focus that we want to have here at Santa Maria Bonita School District. As you are aware, we have normal operations. We have a budget. We have things that we have to do within the system. But many things that we do it sporadically, or we do it in a sense of incongruence. They maybe are good, but they don't have a focus. And so we'll be looking to have more focus and retire things that strategically that may not fit into our strategic intent. And then we'll begin looking at everything that we do with a lens of strategic focus or strategic intent. And so we talk about DLI and expansion of DLI goes under whole child support. I think it's part of the action plan, but again, it's whole child support. When we talk about VAPA programs, when we talk about our sports program, that's whole child. The strategic intent is there. And so I want to make sure that we continue to look at our district through the lens of our strategic plan and keep our focus on that. This is not a perfect science. It is not meant to be. It is meant for us to continue to grow, adjust, and really shoot for what we want for our students and not put ourselves in a box, not to do that. And so I am excited, and I want to thank thank all of our teammates here, all of my team members here for the work that they did on the strategic plan. And we will take any questions that you may have on the 11 action plans that we've created at this time. So I want to thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. McDuffie. Are there any further questions or comments from the board? Ms. Cordero?
I would just comment, since I participated on one of those action teams, that in the time since we have adopted our mission statement and all of that, that it is quite apparent from our public comment this evening that people are taking it to heart. And I sincerely appreciate that.
Any other questions or comments from the board regarding the strategic plan? I do have a question, Dr. McDuffie and team. Not off the hook that easy. A question that I have is, what was the process to select participants? I saw a wonderful list of community members, parents, staff. How were folks invited to be a part of that process? Was there a selection process? How did that take place?
Yeah, that was done by myself and the internal facilitators here, giving me input on who in our community would be good participants, who we would need. We had Boys and Girls Club. We also invited the YMCA, although they weren't a part of the strategic planning team. We reached out to the YMCA director as well, police department, all of the different community agencies that were involved. So we just really brainstormed a list of people who we felt, our community members we felt would be important in really creating a diverse group of, a diverse group and mix of our community.
Thank you. And as a follow-up, is this, I know you'd mentioned we're going to get a mid-year update, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
In the notes, but is the intent for this to be a living document, for us to come back to this every year, every 5 years?
Yeah, so we'll create a phasing document that will be a 3 to 5 year phasing document. We will definitely look at the strategic plan, just to take some previous experience from district that I was a part of that had a strategic plan, is that after 3 years, we looked at our beliefs and said, do we really still believe in our beliefs? Is there language or things that we need to change within our mission statement? And there were some tweaks to that to adjust to us growing as a school district. And I would say in the years that we grow in Santa Maria Bonita, we may look at that and say, we need to adjust our beliefs, or we need to adjust our mission statement or objectives. But that's something that is not in a finite, in a year we're going to do this, or in 2 years we're going to do that. It's something that I'll have to really kind of monitor and measure.
So it sounds like that's kind of on an as-needed basis, if you will. To
Absolutely.
really take a look at some of these components of our strategic plan.
Yes.
And then in terms, you had mentioned something about retiring things not part of our strategic intent. Have you all already discussed what are some of those things that we are thinking about retiring moving as we move forward?
No, we haven't really discussed that. What I'm having the service areas do, our cabinet, really work with their departments, or their service areas, and talk about their mission based upon the strategic plan and our mission as a school district, and begin looking and evaluating what they're doing right now. And based on that, are there things that line up with our strategic plan? And are there things that don't? And if there are things that don't, is it time for retirement? So we're going through that process at this point.
I really appreciate that spirit because when I working at the high school, some of our student leadership groups are sometimes asked the question, what should we start doing? What should we stop doing? And what should we continue doing? So that process of self-assessment and evaluation, I think is really critical.
Yes.
Because it's hard to let go of the things that we've been doing, the
Yes.
same way for a long time. And sometimes we're just stuck on that because that's been our habit. And if it's stuff that's working, wonderful, let's continue it. But if it's not, then that's okay to like let go of those things as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you, everybody that's been a part of this strategic plan. This is really exciting stuff. You didn't hear me hooing and hawing, but inside, I definitely feel really optimistic about, the intent, and I appreciate the fact that it's not just like I think you mentioned the word earlier, Dr. McDuffie, platitudes, right? These are not just pretty things on a page. If that's the case, then what was the point of all this, right? So I'm excited to live this mission, work with you all. So thank you very much. The Board of Education will acknowledge receipt of the strategic plan update as presented. Item 13, new business. Board colleagues, are there any items you wish to agendize for future meetings? Okay. I would want to come back to Dr. McDuffie, the students' points about field trips and about improving the food in our schools. I think is definitely an item that, I would like to receive some updates regarding. I know we already have that planned for some point, but it looks like that's a pressing issue for our students. I know it's a common issue that comes up. I want to give credit to our staff that work in food service because I know it's not an easy job to meet the needs of, thousands of our students. But I know it's something that our students and our families care tremendously about, as I know I definitely care about as well. So if we can get some updates regarding what are we doing to continue to improve the nutrition and the taste of our meals, as well as how are we continuing to make improvements in field trip opportunities for our students.
Thank you, President Valencia. We'll look at, we have on the governor's calendar, I think something on food services we'll be providing later this summer. And we'll look at the other for an update to the board.
Thank you very much. Item 14, board and superintendent reports. Mr. Hollinshead.
Ooh, I'll let it out. It was inside too. No, thanks. I appreciate all the different perspectives this evening and the forward thinking on the part of the strategic plan group, but also on the people who were thoughtful in how they presented to us and spoke to us this evening. Haven't been doing much outside of that. Seems like we were just here not too long ago, so not a lot else to report.
Mr. Lara, any board comments?
Board comments, no, but I've got
Reports?
one, how do I say this? I want to recognize one of our teachers at Jimenez, Mrs. Carla Lara, which is my daughter-in-law. And I want to give him congratulations on having a baby girl today. I'm a grandpa again, my wife and I. And it's very heartwarming because she's named after her great grandmother, Charlotte Catherine. So baby's doing well and mom and dad are, so excited and just wanted to wish them congratulations, and I'm over the moon. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. Ms. Cabral.
No, I don't have anything to report.
Thank you. Ms. Cordero.
Oh, I always have something to report. I'm a busybody, I guess. I have had an opportunity to visit Jimenez recently and had a few questions about the DLI program, and am realizing, I knew that, but it really kind of hit me in the face. This will be the year that our first cohort of students will be completing 8th grade at Jimenez in the DLI program. So I am very much looking forward to that. I was invited to Fessler for their talent show, which included the participation of Dr. Palmerston. He wowed everybody, and the kids did a great job. Junior high kids like to fool around and show off, among themselves, but to get up in front of their peers is not as easy as some of them might have thought it would be. So it was fun, and the students were very respectful and appreciative of the talents demonstrated by their peer students. I stopped by the job fair on Saturday morning and was very pleased to see that there was a very good turnout. This job fair is sponsored through the County Office of Education. So essentially all of our surrounding districts throughout Santa Barbara County were here, and the displays were very nicely done and lots of bling. So if people are attracted by chapstick and new pens, we've got it going. There was also, for the elementary sites that have robotics teams, a practice tournament kind of situation at Libin this weekend. And I think we had 6 or 7 different sites there, and it's great to see them supported. I think I mentioned last time that the junior highs had one. And so once again, we need to be looking forward to the high school and see if we can't plant the seed so that whether our students go to Santa Maria High or Rigetti or Pioneer, that they have the opportunity to continue, because they really get excited. And it is so amazing to me that these kids that are in 5th and 6th grade can work on these little tiny pieces and put them together. I mean, smaller than Lego things. I just find it fascinating that they are so adept and really get it. I mean, they get how it works. So we're teaching physics. There was a brunch and a meeting with the First 5 advisory group in Solvang on Monday, and I hadn't realized this is the 25th year of that, and Santa Maria Bonita has long been a part of that. In fact, our preschools, that's how they all started. And it was encouraging to hear that it appears that the funding will continue to support that program. And the induction advisory team met yesterday to review the status of our teachers that are participating in that program. And of course, we had some discussion regarding, the March 15th notifications and, the repercussions of that. And it's normal, I think, to have that kind of reaction when you get a notification that says you won't have a job. But I think if they really evaluate, how many applicants there have been for those kinds of positions and how we continue to struggle to even get substitutes, that it is pretty likely that they will be able to come back, although we cannot give that guarantee at this time. But I just encourage them to have faith in the system. I believe it will work out for the best. And that's it. Oh, Friday is Read Across America Day.
I want to commend some of our school sites that are doing some wonderful things. I know that at El Camino, they're going to be, or maybe already have, taken a field trip to CSU Monterey Bay. It looks like it's scheduled for April the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to, the students alluded to that earlier, right? That they want to see the world. And I think that that definitely is really important. I don't recall when I was a student at El Camino having the opportunity to visit Monterey Bay, but I think that if I had, I would have seen myself sooner as having a strong academic identity that I did not develop until I was about a sophomore at the high school level. And that was because I was recruited to be a part of the AVID program. But I want all of our students to feel like they're an AVID student, to feel like they're capable of achieving and going off to college. So I want to give props to El Camino for organizing that trip. I also want to commend Taylor Elementary. I see in my notes here that on February the 8th, they had a drum performance for our students. And so again, having opportunities for our students to also connect with things like the arts is also something that makes schooling a wonderful experience. I would like to think that magic happens every day in my classroom, but when it doesn't, it's nice when it's balanced out with extracurricular activities like field trips and sports and things like that. So I want to commend our Taylor staff for organizing extracurricular opportunities like that, and hopefully inspire our young people to also consider pursuing the arts. Because we know from research that when they get connected to the arts, whether it's theater or whether it's music, they're more likely to thrive academically. So it's not just for entertainment purposes, but also for academic purposes. And I also noticed that from having conversations with Dr. McDuffie that our middle schools are utilizing agendas. And I think that's really wonderful because at the high school level, we do see our students sometimes struggle with time management. I mean, shoot, adults for that matter struggle with time management. And so I think it's really wonderful that our students are getting access to these tools. And my hope is that our staff are getting the training on how to help their students utilize these resources. Because if the staff aren't trained on how to help their students use them, then they more than likely won't get utilized. And so that's nice to see. I think it's a good use of resources, but only if our staff are trained on how to use them with our students. And I also want to briefly mention about we updated our board policy around awareness of mental health services. And it was really wonderful to see in our policy that we're going to be very intentional about ensuring that our students are aware of the various mental health services that are available. We have the intention of destigmatizing, right, things like mental health. And we want to make sure that all of our students know where to get help. We want to make sure all our staff know how to identify, times when our students are struggling with their mental health. So that's something that I've asked Dr. McDuffie to follow up with us on is how well are we doing in that area? And if there's room for growth, let's definitely make sure that we're doing that. And that concludes my board comments. Thank you very much, Dr. McDuffie.
Oh, yes.
Nope, no more, Ms. Cordero. I'm just kidding.
I do want to give a shout out after our last meeting and we looked at information to send out in terms of making our public more aware that this arrived in my mailbox. And I don't know if you don't live in Santa Maria, you probably did not get one. If you have not seen this, I hope there are a few available here. It is extremely well done. I am very impressed with the not too much detail, but access through QR to additional information. And I'm hopeful that this is just the beginning of a successful journey should we take it. I was reminded with a Facebook pop-up today that it was 5 years ago today that we broke ground on Libben School. So we did it then. we can do it again.
Dr. McDuffie?
Thank you, President Valencia, and thank you, Board Member Linda Cordero. I appreciate that plug for that. We will be having additional flyers here at the district. I'll have some, folks will have some, and people will see what wonderful and great things we're doing here, Santa Maria Bonita School District on the move. So thank you.
Anybody think made a decision that I think I've made my intention pretty clear?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't want anybody to get that idea. Just a couple of updates. I'll be reading in classrooms at Oakley and Taylor schools on Friday for celebration of Read Across America. I know a number of board members and audience members are also reading in classrooms. I just want to say, I want to say to the teachers and staff of the 18 schools, 19 schools won't be able to visit, that it's really difficult for me to get to all of the schools, but I really do appreciate the invitations to come, and I see right in front of me who just invited me, your staff just invited me to Sanchez, Don, and I really appreciate all the love, but I won't be able to read at all of the schools. So okay, good. I always take my book. I was a student teacher, fifth grade, a fifth grade classroom, and it was my time to go out and be a teacher. And they gave me signed a book that's special to me. Oh, the Places You'll Go from Dr. Seuss, and that's a real special book that I always read to my students or to students as I go about doing Read Across America. Next, the Santa Barbara County Office of Education held a career fair here at Sousa Center last Saturday. All of the North County districts participated. Dr. Bland tells me that the attendance at the job fair was strong. About 30 folks out of the door before it even got started, right? And it stayed busy until the end. Classified and certificated eligible people were interested in what Santa Maria Bonita School District had to offer. So I hope we'll see some new staff members as a result of that event. Dr. Bland and Dr. Zimmerman also attended mock interviews at Cal Poly for teacher candidates or teaching candidates. It was quite popular. Dr. Bland explains and received resumes from several potential teachers. And additional HR staff members have attended a variety of recruitment events, two of them sitting right there, Patricia Zapeta and Andrea Alvarez, Director of Human Resources and our coordinator of Classified. Okay, I lost my place. So we continue to reach out and find the best employees to support our students. I just want to say in regards to this process of non-reelection and temporary teachers being released and probationary teachers being released, that it is a difficult process. And it is a process that we have to follow. And we will do the very best to keep those employees and those teachers that make up Santa Maria Bonita School District. And I just want to just echo the words that have been said. And I think the sentiments of everyone is that we want our teachers back who may not have all their credentials or may not be fully qualified. At this point, we still want them back, and we'll do what we can to get them back here as soon as we can. Okay. Finally, I've been visiting school sites. I've been out at school sites, and I just visited Bonita and Libin Elementary today. There's a wasn't it a beautiful, gorgeous day today? Sometimes I have to just stop and enjoy the day. And it was great to be out at Bonita, and it was great to be out living today, and interacting with students and being in the classroom and being engaged. I was at Ariana's Elementary and Junior High yesterday. Had to get involved, and I loved it. Libin, Adam, I was at Sanchez, I was at Fairlawn, not all in one day. But it's rejuvenating and it fills my heart with joy when I have the opportunity to walk in those classrooms and see those students engaged and teachers providing strategies that help our students stay engaged. Principals have mentioned the work behind the scenes with the West Ed partnerships on PLC development, the new math adoption taking hold, the impact of professional learning taking place in literacy around the science of reading. And I want you to know that this is a great place to be. Whether student, teacher, administrator, or parent, we all have disagreements, but again, our strategic intent, did I mention our strategic intent? Will begin to show itself in everything we do for our students. So I'll stop running off at the mouth. I want to thank all of you, and that's all I have. Thank you, President Valencia.
Thank you very much, Dr. McDuffie. I
One more thing.
no, Linda. Just
I
kidding.
forgot, and I really need to give a shout out to all the schools that participated in the volleyball.
Mhm.
I was dismayed actually when we received the schedule, just telling us when the finals were going to be last Friday night, I think, Thursday night or Friday night. But anyway, I went over there. They had 3 games. It was so much fun. And I was so very impressed with how well those 5th and 6th graders could get that ball over. And I mean, hitting the ceiling in the gym. But it was very exciting, and congratulations to Oakley for taking #1 and to Alvin for taking 2nd place. The teams were well matched and it was a great competition. So thank you to our, I can never, it used to be extended day program, but whatever that's called now, for organizing that. Thank you. I need to print that somewhere. But it was really a lot of fun, and I was glad that I made the time to go over. That, I promise that's it.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Dr. Cordero, Ms. Cordero. Thank you very much, Ms. Cordero. I really appreciate that comment because it causes me to reminisce when I had the privilege of playing volleyball at El Camino Junior High School. I want to thank the coaches, you know, all the sacrifice that they make of their time, their family time, their personal time to commit to our young people. And again, for some of us, that's our connection to school at first. Some of us, for many reasons, don't want to be at school. But if there's a sport, right, or a band, you know, that hooks us, then that's a wonderful excuse, right, to be better connected to school. I know that that was definitely the case for me. And so I really want to highlight our coaches and all of our staff that helped coordinate these wonderful opportunities for our students. So there being no further reports from the board or the superintendent, we are now at item 15, adjournment. The next school board meeting of the Santa Maria Bonita School District will be held on March 6th, 2024. There being no further business before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn? It is moved by Ms. Cordero and seconded by Ms. Cabral to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The time is now 8:14.